Hi everybody, it's Mark here, and I'm just continuing in my series of who wore it best, comparing the Thoth to the RWS minors. We're halfway through, we're at the fives, and the basic premise is just to see which artist depicted the Golden Dawn statement that goes with each card, how they have rendered it, and how it perhaps displays what the title of the card would be, as per the Golden Dawn, and the Hermetic Tarot has those titles. So starting off with the Five of Wands, we've got the Lord of Strife. And I have to say, first off, the Wand suit is my least favorite of the four suits in the Thoth Tarot. I guess it's because they're using the Golden Dawn sort of wands, the Adept at the first level, second, third level. This is a Chief Adept Magician wand. And, you know, it's not that relatable to us normal or everyday folks that aren't magicians or striving to become any of these positions in the Golden Dawn. So there's always that second leap that I have to do. But I do think of this card, and it does say strife, and as I said, it's the Lord of Strife. But I tend to read this more as to strive, and sometimes there is strife in striving, but it is trying to attain something. And when I look at this card, I see the five, I see the one big fancy wand dominating the others, and I think of the Academy Award nominations. You know, there's 5 actors or 5 actresses, and you know, these are it's an honor just to be nominated, and this one won the Oscar. So there's a competition going on, but it's not all out war as far as we can see. So that's my piece on the Five of Wands. Does this show the Lord of Strife? Yes, we can see this. These, I guess, are in strife or striving to be this, but it's not 100% clear. I much prefer the RWS. I just kind of like this melee that's going on, because this can be not denoting not just sort of a battle or even a sport competition, but it just kind of looks like everyone's doing their own thing and they need to get on the same page. And I do find that vibe very useful when I'm reading cards. And you don't get any of the confusion here, you just get the striving and the attainment. So I kind of like this messy business that's happening on this card. So I'm going to declare this one the winner, and not so much that one. Okay, Five of Cups is the Lord of Loss in Pleasure. And now the opposite of the Wands, my favorite suit in the Thoth is the Cups. I just think she's done a gorgeous job on all the Cup cards. Loss in Pleasure has just become a more sort of one-word disappointment. So we're wanting water in Cups, but there's this very fiery desert kind of energy. Things are drying up in terms of water. There's no water left in the cups. The petals of the flowers, the lotuses, are being blown aside and tossed asunder. The cups are very fragile. They look like they're made of glass, and they're chipped. So all things, and these petals have turned black from green. So you do get that feeling of sort of a loss of pleasure. Things are kind of over at this point. It is Mars, and it's in Scorpio, so that Mars is very fiery, and that's the Tower card, and Scorpio is the Death card, so Tower and Death all in one card. Not a great scenario. So I really like this because I can feel the atmosphere, I can feel the air, as if I had stepped into this card. This card, it's a bit, you know, too leaning into mourning and sadness and woe is me, but it is an iconic image. This figure in woe, and of course the spilled cups and the cups that are standing, and it's one of the cards from the RWS that you can really bring to mind instantly when someone says the Five of Cups. You just see the whole scenario. So I do see the loss in pleasure on the card, and I'm going to call it a tie because I really like both versions of what we're seeing here. Okay, so now we are at the Five of Swords, and that is the Lord of Defeat. And here we have the Thoth, and we just reduced it to defeat on the card. Previous card had like a rose on it, I believe, or certainly a flower. And although this is looking like blood and blood drops, it's also meant to be the petals being dispersed from this flower. And yeah, it's a card that, you know, these swords, short swords, have been in many battles. They're worn down and they're worn out. We've got a reverse pentagram, which is never good. So yes, you can get defeat from this, but I don't think it's a hugely evocative card. Venus, it's Venus in Aquarius, so it's like, don't bring sentimentality to a battlefield, because fives are Mars, which is Gabora and the Tree of Life. Anyway, you sort of have to do that kind of adding up to get to what the card means. Whereas here, very, very clear, as someone's being a bully and someone's been defeated, the Lord of Defeat. And it's not so much about his victory, but it's about their defeat and the smug look on his face. And like the Five of Cups, I find this one very evocative and easily called to mind when you're thinking about a card without the card right in front of you. So I am actually going to give the win to this one over this one. I never really liked that card. This doesn't call something up immediately to me. So now we're on the Five of Discs or Pentacles, and it's the Lord of Material Trouble. And Crowley and Harris have just called it worry. And I like this card. I like that these gears, this machinery is blocking out the light. I call this the worry machine. We got an upside down pentagram again, and I won't go into all of what these mean. But it's Mercury in Taurus, and Mercury is the mind, and Taurus is very habitual and repetitive. So it's just, I can't get this thought out of my head. You're trapped in these gears. If you remember the Charlie Chaplin movie, Modern Times, and he was working on a machine, and then he just sort of gets pulled into the machine and pulled around and around and around. And I really see that in this card. My moon and rising sign are in this decan of this card, and I do have intrusive thoughts that sometimes you can't get a song out of your head when you're trying to sleep, that kind of thing. And I really see that depicted well here. And all these gears, dark, leaden gears, are blocking out the light that's trying to get through. So I really like it. This one, also very iconic, and certainly shows material trouble, but you know, I just think it goes too far. It's such drama. Only the Ten of Swords is as dramatic as this card. I mean, things are not that bad. Here you're worrying about your finances maybe, and here you're absolutely out on the street and ill, and every possible mishap has happened to you while others are doing very well. And you know, and then we had to have snow and crutches and rags and the bell that I'm a leper. I mean, I just think Pamela maybe just overdid it. Despite how iconic I realized the image is, it's too much. I have more places to go when I'm talking to somebody and reading their cards than when this comes out. So that's it. We got some ties, we got some winners on both teams, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.